it's me, it's Marcus. We're back. Hello, how are you all doing? It's so lovely to see you all. Thank you so much for jumping into my little show that I like to call Spill It. Spill It is a show where I get to speak to inspirational people to connect people together, inspire others, and help people learn something new. This episode is going to be no different because this is episode 50. Come fly with me. Let's fly away. Stick to hosting, Marcus. You cannot sing. But this is episode 50. Come fly with me. And I have got the fabulous Jackie Roby. Jackie Roby joins us at 7:10 p.m. So make sure that you don't go anywhere and that you like, you share, and you comment. The reason I asked for these things, let me start that again. The reason I asked for these three things are as simple as this. If you like it, it means that Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, wherever you're watching this from, if you like it, it means that they go, oh, this is something that people should watch, and they pushes it out to more people. That's how algorithms work, ladies and gentlemen. Algorithms. And also, if you comment, it means that it boosts it up even further, and we get to discuss it live on air. And also, if you share it, it means that people get to come into the Spill It community and be part of the Spill It world and become little teacups themselves. So thank you so much. Here we go. If you haven't checked out our other episodes yet, make sure you do. You can head over to the brand new Spill It website at www.spillit.uk, and you can head over to the podcast streaming services to listen to them while you're on the move, if you're in the car, wherever you're going. If you're going shopping, you can have me in your ear. It's up to you. Or you can head over to the website and you will find links to the Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch sites where you can be able to see the videos. So it's up to you. It's your choice. Keep those comments and questions rolling in. We have got a comment straight away from Linda who's saying, morning, Linda. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you for your comment, Linda. It's brilliant. It's lovely to see you. I hope you're doing well. And I hope Oliver's doing well, because Oliver tested positive, didn't he, for COVID. So I hope he's okay. And I hope that you're okay, Linda, having to isolate. I'm sure you're doing fine anyway, but don't worry. You know where I am if you need me. Well, I do hope that you're okay. Hit the share button, guys. Hit the share button. It's important. Hit the share button. Right. Okay. Announcements. We are all fine. Thank you. Good. I'm glad you're all fine, Linda. Okay, announcements. Are you ready for some announcements? It is the announcements time. It's the announcements time. It's 7:05. It's the announcements time. So the announcements time. I can't even speak. I'm so hyperactive and I don't even know why. It's because I get to speak to all of you. Yes. Anyway, announcements. We're going to do 2 announcements this week. One is going to be a little bit low, a little bit down there. And then the other announcement is going to bring us back up, because we always like to be positive on the show. You'll hear me, if needed, the gobby one, of course. Of course, Linda. I know. Can't tell. Hyper mad. I know. I don't know what's up with me. I'm really hyper this evening. Anyway. Calm down. Announcements. Right. Let's get serious in here. On Monday, we had the announcement from Mr. Boris Johnson let us down once again. So we were originally going to be coming out of lockdown on June the 21st. However, lockdown has now been extended. It's been extended until July the 19th, apparently. But we all know what this government has been like. We know that on July the 5th, I want to say. So on July the 5th, there'll be another announcement to say whether or not they're going to go ahead with this relaxation of restrictions. I think that's the correct term. If they go ahead with the removal of lockdown, it will be on July the 19th, but they'll announce it July the 5th, if that is the case. So we've got 2 weeks until we know if it's going to happen or not. Now, I've spoken to many people, and they've all said the same thing. We were only supposed to be in a lockdown for 4 weeks. And then it was, oh, we actually going to extend it to the summer. And then we were going to extend it just until spring. And then it's, oh, we're just going to extend it just until June. And now it's, oh, we're just going to extend it up until July. So we feel, or a vast majority of you feel like we have just been let down at every single hurdle. And I want to know what your thoughts are now. How are you doing with this latest announcement? Are you ready to just smash through these 4 weeks? Are you thinking that we are going to get out after 4 weeks? I don't know. And obviously, I've always been there for you guys since day one. This is why Spill It started. Spill It started because of lockdown. And I just want to make sure that you guys are okay, really. Let's be honest. But also, I want to know where your head's at because with my head, I have been positive all the way through this and thinking, oh, you know what? I can understand it. I can understand the data behind it. I can understand the science behind it. And I've been like that. I've been like, yeah, okay, I can get it. I can get it. I can get it. However, this latest announcement has now just got lockdown fatigue sitting in. I can't escape my house. I was really looking forward to June the 21st when I'd actually be able to go out to work properly, but I can't go out to work anymore, not until like July. So it's really, really sitting in now. And I just want to make sure that you guys are okay as well. Because if I'm feeling like this and I'm the most positive person on the planet, um, I'm sure that you guys will be really, really down there as well. Linda's there straight in the comments, deflated. I think people will make their own decisions. I completely agree with you as well. I think that if July the 19th doesn't happen, I think, if they extend it again, I think it'll just be a case of now that people will just go no and they'll take matters into their own hands and they will just go off. I think restaurants, bars, pubs, and clubs, I think they'll just probably open and just go, you know what, we'll pay the fines, whatever. So yeah, I completely get that. But it's not all doom and gloom because there is something that I wanted to talk about, which is really, really positive that's happened for me, and I want to talk about it now. We touched on it last week, so we touched on it last week's episode, but then on Saturday it was fully confirmed. Here is a little photo, sneaky peek for you. Here we go. It is a little bit of Marcus on the radio. I have been officially given my own slot on the radio, which will be on air, which means you can listen to me not just on a podcast or watch me on here. You can now listen to me on the radio, which is absolutely epic. I can't wait for this to actually kick off. So this kicks off in 2 weeks' time. On a Saturday afternoon at 3 till 4. So I have an hour's slot, which is absolutely epic, and I can't wait. And the show is called A Little Bit of Marcus, because it's going to be a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of the guests, and a little bit of nuts, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and chicken all that. So yeah, it's got a little bit of Marcus. There's going to be all sorts happening around it. But I am so, so grateful for absolutely everybody who basically got me this. Let's be honest. So the radio station found me because of the awards that I've been given, which I was nominated because of you lovely lot. So yeah, I got you guys to thank for it. So yeah, it's all happening. I just want to say thank you so much. Okay, I have talked and talked and talked. I have talked very, very fast as well because I'm so excited about absolutely everything. And I'm really hyperactive today, as you can tell. But we aren't here for me to talk about me. We are here because we have got the lovely Jackie Roby, who is waiting patiently in the green room, laughing her head off at me because I am far too hyperactive. And she's like, whoa. But she's here. She's patiently waiting. And I cannot wait to get into this conversation. I'm sure that a lot of you guys will be wanting a lot of this type of conversation as well to be happening, because we are going to be talking about mental health. We're going to be talking about mental wellness, well-being. Hang on, let me get this right. We're talking about mental health and well-being. There we go. Talking about mental health and well-being, and also to do with travel, which, to be fair, guys, travel is what we all want to be doing right now, isn't it? We don't want to be in this country anymore. We want to be traveling away. So that's why I thought that this episode will be absolutely epic. Okay? And I'm sure that you guys will be with me too. Can we get a massive drum roll? Can we get plenty of emojis in those comments, please? Can we have a massive, massive welcome to my lovely and fabulous guest for this evening? It is Jackie Roby. Hi, Jackie.
Hello, Marcus. Oh, I had so much fun backstage. I felt like I was on the journey with all of you. I was so bummed about lockdown, and then I was excited about a little bit of Marcus.
A little bit of Marcus. Well, I'm glad that you was part of that journey with us. Then it's been a bit of a journey for us, but you're here and you're sharing your journey with us today. And you've had a bit of a sneak peek in my journey too. So a little bit of Marcus coming on the radio. Unfortunately, you won't be able to stream it where you are, but you'll see everything on Instagram.
Well, thank goodness.
But you're okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. I'm very grateful.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Well, for starters, want to play a little game. Are you up for playing a game with me?
No, yes, absolutely. I'm up for playing.
No, I'm not. Well, this is a game that I like to call the 5-second rule. That's right, it is the 5-second rule. This is Linda's favourite game, just FYI. This is the 5-second rule. This is a game that I play with all my guests. It's just a nice little icebreaker game where I get to say, name 3 somethings, and you've got 5 seconds to name those 3 somethings. It's as simple as that, okay? Nice and easy. We'll start you off easy. I'm going to ask you 3 different questions, okay? Number 1. Hang on, we're just going to go into the comments because Linda, there we go. Linda said in the comments, not clean. So, as a reminder, so just for Linda's sake, because you've got to think fast and off the top of your head, you don't have to keep it clean. You can just say the first thing that's on the top of your head. Okay, so you can breathe a little bit easy. It's Linda's favourite game. She loves all the rules. So, let's start with your first question, which is, name 3 things you do when no one is looking.
I don't know. Play with my hair.
You got 1. Correct. Well done. You got 1 out of 3 so far. Well done. It's hard to think off the top of your head.
It really is. 5 seconds. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to try to be better at this next one.
No worries. Name 3 things. In fact, I'll do another one. Name 3 smells that make you gag.
Fresh lawn cutting, fried fish.
Fried fish?
Fried fish, yeah.
And like fresh lawn cuttings?
Yeah.
Really? That's it. A lot of people like that smell. It reminds me of summer.
I know. Yeah, no.
And you don't like it? It reminds me of hay fever. It does. When I smell the like new lawn cuttings, I just think hay fever. It's in the air. I can feel it's going to get me.
It makes me think of suburb living, and I'm a city person.
Okay. Okay, here we go. This is your last question of the evening. Name 3 people you wouldn't want to be in an elevator with.
Any of the Kardashians.
I'll take that. That's fine. Yes. Yes.
I gotta practice talking faster.
So you got 4 out of a possible 9. Is that correct? 3, 6, 9. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. 4 out of 9. You answered 1 of each though, which is good.
I'll take it.
Linda said Full House. Well done.
Thank you. Don't the Kardashians count as a full set?
You know what? If I'd said, even if I'd said, name 10 people, and you said the Kardashians, I'd be like, that's fine. I'll take that. None. Get rid of them all. Like, so we have a TV show. I'm not sure if you got it in the US, but we've got a TV show called Room 101, which is a game show where you can basically say anything you want to goes into Room 101. So Room 101 is an imaginary room where if you put something in there, it gets locked away forever and gets removed from the world. Now, my first thing of Room 101 would be the Kardashians. I think that they just need to go into that room, gone, see you later, done. No, I'm not about it.
I love that.
Speaking of, though, what would you put in Room 101?
Diet culture.
Hey, that's a good one. I really enjoy that one.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Okay, moving on. Welcome. Did you enjoy the game?
I really did. I don't feel very successful at it, but it makes me think, and I'm going to use it on people.
It is really good. Just name 3 somethings, and you've got 5 seconds to do it. It's a brilliant game. So just need a little nice icebreaker as well. But what the audience wants to know, because I've heard of you before, we've spoken before, but the audience haven't. So who is Jackie Roby?
Well, I am the Chief Excellence Officer, which stands for CEO, of Inspired Journey Consulting. That's my company where I work with healing, wellness, and transformational travel businesses. So I've spent my career in sales in the hospitality and travel industry. And when I came upon this niche, I realized I could use my superpowers for good. So I offer really solutions. I'm a solution strategist in the sales and marketing arena.
Nice. Okay. How did that even start?
Well, it came because of my journey, my own mental health journey, really. So it started a little further back, I would say. I've thought about going out on my own for a while now, but then I always thought I'd have a partner or somebody we do these different things. And all throughout the years, it changed, and I always had reasons not to do it. In 2006, towards the end of 2006, I really started to feel like, okay, you know what? This is a moment where I need support on my journey. So I'm going to get myself into therapy. And I did that early 2007. And unfortunately, what I didn't do was listen to my therapist. I would be there and I would talk, but when he would recommend antidepressants, and again, medication isn't for everyone, but he would recommend it and I wasn't ready. And then when I finally was ready, I think I was at my primary said, oh, you should try vitamins. So with all of this combined, it led me into this really dark, deep spiral of depression, anxiety, true constant panic, and PTSD. So it was so deep that I had to call on my mom to fly across the country and stay with me. I never thought I would have to do that. I was 27. I felt like I've been living out here in Boston on my own. I don't need anybody. I got this. I've been paying for myself since I was 18. But I didn't know exactly what I needed. I just knew I couldn't do it by myself. So she came out to be with me, lived with me for a month while I got my medication sorted. And I continued on this mental health journey throughout the years. So it kept going and going, and I loved it. Honestly, as painful at sometimes as it was, it helps reveal who you are, who you really are, not what you've been running from. And it slowed me down. I was party. And I couldn't do that anymore. That was it. There was none of that. It all came to a screeching halt with depression. And just when I felt like I'm great, my world is amazing. I had what I felt was a dream job. I was traveling 80% of the time. I was going to London 6 times a year because I was working for hotels out there. And I had just met the love of my life, my now husband. And he came into my home and he said, "Coming over here is like going to a funeral." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You're not happy." And it blew my mind because I felt like I was the happiest I had been, and I don't even remember how long. And so then I was set on a path of education and learning and researching and reading. My sister's best friend, she connected us and we chatted, and she gave me a bunch of books to go through, one of them being Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. And through this journey, I found ways to choose my happiness and all these different healing modalities. But I am doing this for over a decade. This entire time I'm in the travel industry. And it wasn't until 17 years in that I was introduced to wellness travel and then even further healing travel. I originally thought, oh, it's just spas and yoga, which I love both. Like spa is my favorite 3-letter word. But it was so much more. And what I found is that all the things, so many of the things, plus what I had been educating myself on for over a decade was available through travel. So I could be getting this on vacation. And it's not to say that 3 days would save my life, but 3 days would give me tools to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
So that, it sunk into my soul. And I knew that it needed to be my future in some way, shape, or form.
So, with regards to travel wellness, can you describe in a nutshell what is that? What if somebody was to like look it up, or somebody from like who's watching this in or who's listening to this on podcast, and they're sat there thinking, what is travel wellness? Can you give us like as a brief kind of overview in a nutshell what that is?
Yeah. So wellness travel is focusing on the mind, body, and spirit. So as you're searching for something, some pretty simple things, look at food menus, which I don't know about you, but I always look at food anyway. If there are different options, gluten-free, vegan, dairy-free, showing different catering, or even just fresh food coming from the farm, all of those fresh ingredients that are available to you. That's one element. Then there's a piece of mindful movement. So this is not necessarily boot camps and detoxes, although it can be for those that are looking for it. But maybe it is hiking. I actually went somewhere where we did this walk on an inside track, because it was during the winter in Massachusetts, on an inside track, and the psychologist was giving a lecture. And so we walked while we learned.
That is epic. That is really, really good, actually. Like thinking about how because you would take that in as well. Like you would actually, it gives you something to focus on whilst you are out and about, I suppose.
Yes, it was amazing. I couldn't imagine. So there's that element. And then it's soothing your soul. So you're learning things. You can figure out, maybe I want to change this of what I'm putting in my body. Maybe I want to take up meditation. Maybe, I don't know, spinning is what's right for me, or aqua aerobics, or whatever it is. You could try new spa treatments. Spa is a part of wellness, but it isn't necessary to have a spa to be traveling for wellness. It's nice.
So just just FYI, guys, we are allowed to go spas. So make sure that you've booked yourself into a spa. I will be doing that at the end of this month.
Yes, 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 yes. And there are so many creative things to try. So that's what it is. And it's a lot of it is having that intention. And there's a difference between wellness and healing travel. So healing travel has all of those elements of mind, body, spirit, but then the intention to heal, to go deeper and to be open to getting deep into what you need to work on, even if you may not realize what it is.
That is crazy, and to think that obviously, because I've never heard of this. I like you think of when you think of like mental health work and uh, organizations that are set up to help people with mental health or whatever, and you don't necessarily think of this type of field, like the whole travel, where you're not just traveling and going, oh, I'm going to go on holiday because I need a break. You're going on holiday to learn more about you, how you work, learn more about who you are as a person, and to open up more. Like, you never think of therapy quite like this. And I absolutely love stuff like this. Now, this links very, very well with an episode that I did last year when I talked to an individual who did wilderness therapy, and it was about being out in the open and learning more about who you are as a person and being open to spirituality and things like that. But it was all to do with like the forest areas and being one with nature and all that. And I suppose what you're saying is that this type of thing kind of taps into that as well.
Absolutely. That's actually a modality called forest bathing.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So there is a piece of being grounded in nature and what that does to you. Even there are even modalities and recommendations for jet lag when you get to your destination to take your shoes off and put your feet on the earth of where you are to help set your circadian rhythm.
Wow, I didn't know that. I remember that one. That's a tip for me. I'll write that one down. But carry on your story.
Yeah. So just like you said, I hadn't heard of it. And I've been in the industry, and being in sales means you talk to hundreds to thousands of people. And I was on what we would call the supplier side as a hotelier, and then on the buyer side, working for a large travel agency. I was working in luxury programs, so I was talking to thousands of people, including travel advisors. And travel advisors, they know almost everything because they meet with everyone in travel. And so they have to be educated on things globally in order to best support their clients and build relationships globally. And when I could speak to people that have been in this industry twice as long as I had in all different sections, and they had no idea what was happening, I just thought, we can't do this anymore. We've got to make a change. And I sat back and I was overseeing this program that had to do with wellness, which is how I was introduced to it. And it was marketing for the wellness resorts, and it was training the travel advisors on wellness travel. And I would schedule calls with all of them, both the hotels and the advisors. And I'd schedule 15-minute calls, and I would want to learn what they were getting out of it, who they were, how they started in the business, and what they needed, what was missing. And it all really came together that there was a big missing ingredient of connection. And even just talking to my own people who have known me forever and sometimes not understanding what I do, not realizing why they should book with an advisor, not seeing what, it still blows my mind. But I said, okay, we've got to bring the traveler in. This is the problem. We need to make a larger connection and create a bigger voice around it. And being that I've been in sales for so long, I know the difference between selling one thing versus speaking honestly about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to create that change. There were so many things that I believed in. Some brands like Healing Hotels of the World has changed my life. I didn't even know that existed. And I thought, okay, well, there are things that we could talk about here, but I think what travelers really need is an unbiased voice who has experience in the field, in the industry itself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also helpful to the industry, knowing that I'm looking at things as a professional as I would whether I was working in that space or evaluating them for luxury programs. I know what's good, what's not. I know what authentic wellness looks like versus wellness washing, which is a term we use for those who just put wellness or spa on their website and throw it in, but it doesn't really mean anything. And I've built a community called the Travel Can Heal community. And that gives a space to show people that they're not alone. So I am a trauma survivor. That is part of my story. And that's part of, well, a big piece of why I fell into depression in the first place. Now, if we know anything about depression, we know that it could have been going on years before.
Yeah.
But I hit rock bottom, which hopefully you never have to do. And that's one of the great things about traveling for wellness is being preventative and learning tools to be preventative. But yes, so I'm a trauma survivor. I had sexual abuse from my grandfather, and it was something that resurfaced when I was 21 and again at 26. And at 26 is when it just kind of broke me. And it took a really long time to find my voice. I had been silenced for a really, really long time, for most of my life. And finally, I recognized the power in my own voice, in my own story, and in the experience that I bring and the expertise that I bring. So I had this moment at my old company that wasn't positive, and I was really just being put into a box, smaller and smaller and smaller, and pushed down as if I was nothing. And I couldn't take it anymore. It was hurting me in a way that it was affecting my mental health, my panic, my overall sense of who I am. And it convinced me that I just had to be smaller, even though I knew somewhere deep inside, I kept fighting it, right? My instinct and the universe was trying to push me out further, like way earlier, but I just kept ignoring it. And then I had this moment. I was speaking to the co-founder of Healing Hotels, who I had just met a few months earlier. And she very genuinely asked me how things were. And I tell her this story. And she was so kind and gave me a visualization to use to try to help. She sent me a meditation that she had just listened to that she thought would be soothing for me in this scenario. And as I was on the phone with her, I had this light bulb moment that I needed to walk through my fear. And I got off the phone, went into the other room, and I said to my husband, I'm going to quit my job and start my own company.
Wow.
Yeah. And he said, it's about damn time. And I said, well, he says, okay, you're going to solidify contracts. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. And I said, no. You don't understand. This was a Friday. I want to put my notice in on Monday. And
Wow.
he said, even better. which, thank goodness.
So
And
so
so here I
you got a massive support. You've got a massive support from obviously your partner through that decision, which obviously shows as well that he didn't agree with obviously how you were being made to feel in the workplace and things like that. And to have that support, it's next to none, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I'm incredibly grateful. And I would get that support from peers, from colleagues, from friends, people that have worked with me in the past. So that was pretty amazing. But I needed to believe it. I needed to get to that space to say, I can do this. I can do anything.
Yeah. And I get that as well because, and this comes from obviously depression. I've been there myself. I've been very open, especially more recently as well, with things that I've gone through. And I was nothing, obviously, what you have gone through yourself, but the things that have happened in my life, they put me down. They brought me down so much. And when people tell you that you're brilliant, you're amazing, you can do this, you can do everything, it's hard sometimes to accept that. You're not ready to accept that yet. Mm-hmm. And that kind of births this imposter syndrome, where that feeling of self-doubt and that you aren't good enough and that you've got to overcome that yourself. And it doesn't matter how many people will say that you can do this and you are better than this and all of that, because you've got imposter syndrome. And that's what it is at the end of the day. It's imposter syndrome. It's that voice inside your head saying, no, you're not. And putting self-doubt in you. Because you've got that, it's so hard to get through to that next bit where you are happy and you can accept it and you can go, I am amazing. I can do this and I will do this. And I suppose, and it comes from the depression side of things where, you are constantly brought down. So you feel like you're permanently at this level and you know that you are deep down, you know that you're up there, but because you've been made to feel down here all the time, you kind of bring yourself down to that level because it's the kind of, in inverted commas, like comfort, I suppose. It's like Stockholm syndrome, isn't it? It's like you're so used to being at this level that you don't want to go further up. You don't want to give yourself that happiness of being up here because you think that you're deserving of this lot here. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel that so deeply. And I just want to say that you mentioned what you had been through was nothing in comparison. And I want to say to you that your story is yours and it is just as important as anybody else's. So with that in mind, sorry. Part of this journey in business was the Travel Can Heal community. And that was inspired by my own experience and by the pandemic. I had to pivot really quickly. I opened a wellness travel business 6 months before the world stopped. And
wow.
Yeah.
Great timing.
Talk about testing somebody who has depression.
I have all of this self-doubt. Do you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm now at this point. The world stopped. Great. I shouldn't have done that.
Super. But what I will tell you is actually I spent every day, no matter what it was, saying, I am so much happier now than I would have been if I stayed, than I've ever been. This is exactly where I need to be. And I took it as a moment of reflection, of quiet and stillness to listen to my intuition, of observing and seeing what was really needed, making sure that what I was providing was serving me and serving others, in the right way. And I'll say that my principles, the entire concept of Inspired Journey Consulting stayed the same. It was just some tactics that moved around. How we got there. People were coming to me for social media, which I didn't anticipate. And so my industry needs support. And certainly the wellness travel business needs support. So I help in their strategizing. I create amplifying for them, and I use my voice. I started a podcast called Through Inspired Eyes. I am on 5 social media channels, learning to others. And I keep myself active in those spaces, which is something that's really unique for the travel industry.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it was seeing, why have we not heard about wellness travel? It's because they don't have those deep pockets to make a lot of noise. So I'm making the noise for them. And for me, that not only helps this beautiful part of the industry that is serving others in such an amazing way, but it's helping the people like me who need the support, who could use the support. And just because you overcame something once and feel like you've healed doesn't mean you can't keep working. Because the healing journey, it's forever. So, yeah, no, that has been such a gift. When Travel Can Heal came about, people came to me out of the woodwork, and wow, it was so beautiful. People that I've known forever, people that I'd never met, people that were really close to me and hadn't told their story, that came and thanked me for sharing, told me what they were going through, asked for guidance into a space where they could go and travel when it made sense for them to, asked for techniques. So it has really been something that I am excited about and will continue on throughout the years to have this community, because it's important to know you're not alone and to be able to find the tools in the industry that's been underserved so that you can go on vacation and heal. Like, I want to heal on a beach. So
I wonder if I can expense that at work and just be like,
it is your mental health.
Yeah, exactly. You spoke about the community that obviously you built, and obviously during the pandemic as well. Now, we touched on very, very early on when I was talking about the pandemic over in the UK. We are still under lockdown. We have had travel restrictions laid heavy on us, like loads of countries that we can't visit. We can't pretty much leave the country, let's be honest. And I'm just wondering what advice, talking about travel wellness and all of that lot, what advice you would give to people who are in the UK stuck indoors, or not stuck indoors, but stuck in their own house, unable to go abroad to travel. I'm just wondering if you've got any advice for people to help their mental wellness.
I absolutely do. Can I ask a quick clarification question?
Of course.
Are you allowed outdoors with masks?
Yes. Oh yeah. So we're allowed to leave our houses. We can put masks on if we are in a public space. So indoors. If we're outdoors, let's say for example we're at a park, we don't have to wear masks. But if we go indoors, we have to wear a mask. So if we go inside like a shopping centre or the supermarket or wherever, so we're allowed to leave our houses and everything. It's just that we're not allowed to. There's a lot of restrictions on specific travel.
Okay. Thank you. So one of the pillars of how travel is supportive for your healing journey is a change of scenery. So taking that step to go for a walk, go to the park, be in nature. Nature doesn't have to be a forest. It can be the park. Put your feet on the earth. Do what's called a meditative walk. And for me, that is actually, it was recently described as going out without music, without a friend with you, that pure stillness, and being mindful and noticing what's around you. So I did my first one and I looked at the different greens, the different colors of the trees and the grass and the plants. And I started counting the greens. And then as I'm doing that, I pick another color and I found that purple is actually what brought me the highest vibrational joy. So something like that can be really impactful. What I'd also say is that some of the most incredible wellness and healing professionals in travel have created tools that are available. So, Pravasa is a wellness tour operator, the very first. So, a pioneer in the industry. Lyndon Schaefer, their owner, their founder, created a series called Wander Home. So, the Wander Home series is meant to be done remotely.
Oh, wow.
It's incredible. It gives you recipes. It gives you time to, go grocery shopping, to make these things, breath work, sound healing, skincare, all different things. There's 3 different pillars of it that you can choose from. Ananda in the Himalayas. I actually just attended one of their calls this morning on learning to accept change. So their healers do beautiful virtual sessions. That's also something you can look at. And during this time, they've all been very creative. So you can look on Instagram and find, or on YouTube or wherever is your favorite platform, and find the videos that can be of support. I really like to look to social media as a space of support and community, not the negative. I just don't look at the negative. So that's not for me. But, follow Travel Can Heal. See if you can get some ideas. Use that hashtag and see if there are ideas from any of the partners that I work with. Avivum Journeys, they do at-home events. They're 90 minutes and they support, they're incredible for mental wellness. What are they called? Field trips. They're called field trips. And those are remote. So the tools are out there and available for you.
Brilliant. Well, what we'll do definitely is after the show, we'll put some links on for people so they can see what's available out there for them to even just look at, watch, get inspired by, etc.
Absolutely.
Just wondering, so what's next for you? So, Linda's put a comment saying, and I'm not sure how if this is true for yourself. So America has basically had all lifted as in restrictions. I was talking to Arizona today. She's got a friend over in Arizona. So if all of your restrictions have been lifted, what is the next step for you with obviously this venture that you've undertaken?
Well, it's actually taught me to be much more mindful about my own travels and much more intentional. I was used to traveling for business quite often. So my next business trip isn't likely to be until the fall. So I'll likely enjoy the sunshine in Massachusetts all summer. I'm taking a quick sexy trip to Pittsburgh. My sister lives there, so I'm going to see her.
Sexy trip. I'm trying to think. I'm sure Linda will probably say it. If anybody is watching and wants to say what our sexy trip would be in the UK, what would our sexy trip be? Drop a comment and let us know where our sexy trip would be in the UK.
I definitely want to hear that.
I genuinely have no idea. I would probably say either maybe London. I'd maybe say a sexy trip to London, because it's like London's quite not glamorous as such, but it's like the capital. So it's like, or maybe maybe Newcastle. For me, it'd be Newcastle because I love the Geordie accent.
Okay, but those are truly actually sexy. So this is more like, I don't know, is it Brighton? Where did I used to go when I traveled to London? Somewhere out in the just I'm going for family, but I do plan to be intentional. I'll look at the Wellness Tourism Association event that'll be in Miami. If Healing Hotels of the World does their summit in Portugal, I'll go to that. So there's things that I'm intentionally looking at that makes sense for my business. And then I might do something with Advivum Journeys when they have something in Kent. So
nice.
Yeah, I could be coming to the UK. Watch out. Maybe
let us know if you are.
Jackie and a little bit of Marcus.
Yeah. Little Marcus wiggle there. Well, thank you so much for obviously coming on the show and being so open and honest with us and everything. And is there anything that we haven't discussed that you would like the opportunity to discuss now?
Yes. I would love to have all of you come and be part of the social media journey with me. I am most commonly on Instagram at Inspired Journey Consulting. Follow the hashtag Travel Can Heal. You can officially join my community, get the emails and all the different inspiration and knowledge on my website, which is again lengthy, but straight to the point, inspiredjourneyconsulting.com. And I actually have a page called Travel Can Heal where you sign up and you can get this information and be inspired and be part of the community. And then also listen to Through Inspired Eyes. Follow me there because we talk about healing travel and mental wellness in that space. So there's a lot of knowledge.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Well, thank you. And have you got some final thoughts for people today?
Definitely. When you're thinking about traveling, and if you're considering this, one thing to remember is number one, you deserve the time. You really do. You deserve the time to take care of you. Number two, going on a wellness vacation, you come back feeling revived and ready to get back to your life versus needing a vacation from your vacation, which we often feel. And number three, in this space, not all of the locations are alcohol free. So if you happen to like a cocktail, keep that in
mind. Yes, it's a winner for me. Amazing. Thank you. That is absolutely amazing. And as I say, we're going to post so many links out there for people so they can be inspired themselves. And just remember, guys, that though the UK may be locked down and we are unable to travel outside of the UK or go on long holidays or whatever, as Jackie rightly said earlier on, just get out and go for a walk and reflect on your own story and think of everything that's happening outside in the world. So let your feet touch the grass, look out, look at the colours as Jackie did, look at everything else that's going on around you, be one with yourself. Just traveling doesn't necessarily mean that you have to leave the country. Traveling is a mindset. Get out of that mindset and venture off and find a new mindset. Go on your own little personal journey.
And take that opportunity to travel within.
I absolutely love that. Yeah. At the end of every episode, I give my guests the opportunity to give a quote. Now, it can be something that they stand by, live by. It could be something that they've heard that they just really like. It could be something that they have made up that they just think, that is my quote. And I'm just wondering if you've got a quote for my viewers, my audience, and my listeners today.
Oh, I do. See, I am a rap and hip hop fan, but I didn't get far past the 90s because I'm not that cool. But Jay-Z has a phenomenal quote that you can't heal what you don't reveal.
Love it.
So that is so inspiring to me. And it reminds me of my own journey that I had to fall so deep because I wasn't willing to look at anything. It doesn't have to be that way.
I absolutely love that. And you are right in just this quote itself. I mean, as I said earlier on, I've started talking about my story, the things that I've gone through, and I'm finding it easier and easier more now to talk about it because I'm talking about it more and more naturally. Prior to 2020, the story or my journey was something that I kind of held on to and was like, I don't want to share this part of my life. And I think it took what's going on in the world with the pandemic, it took that to really make me look internally and start looking at the things that I've gone through and not just looking at them and think, well, that happened to me and whatever. It's how I've grown from that. And it's looking at who I was to the person that I am now and being very, very grateful. Firstly, for the things that I have gone through. I'm very grateful for the things that I've gone through. Because they've made me the person that I am now, and they may not have been the best of things, and I wouldn't wish anybody to go through the similar things that I've gone through, and similarly like what you've gone through. But at the same time, I'm glad in a weird way that I have gone through them because I wouldn't be this fabulous human being right now. I would be somebody completely different, and because I've now revealed and I've been more open with people, I can honestly say I feel happier more and more every single day, especially throughout this year, because I've been so open and because I've talked about it more and more. So this quote really does mean something to me. And I hope that the viewers and the listeners, when they look at this quote or they hear this quote, I hope that they feel the same. I feel that you should. I think you should start talking about your feelings and your emotions and all of that lot, because you are right. You can't heal. You can't get through it if you don't talk about it. Brill. Well, it's been absolutely amazing having you on. I'm so glad that you have been so open, so honest, and been part of this conversation with me and on this little show of mine. And thank you for spending your time, your early afternoon time with us, because you're at 3 p.m., I believe, your time. We are at 8 p.m. my time. It's nearly bedtime. But no, thank you so, so much. I've learned so much from this episode, and I'm sure that a lot of people at home have learned a lot from this episode as well. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Marcus, and everybody that's listening and watching. I am so grateful to be in this space and to have had your energy around me. As the most positive person in the UK, I would say I'm the most positive in the US. So coming together, this is like superpowers.
Yeah, definitely. Most positive person in the UK with the most positive person in the US. We are like positivity overload. As Leila said here as well, thank you for sharing your story. You are an amazing person. And Linda has also said, yes, thank you for sharing as well.
Layla, Linda, thank you. That just warms my heart. I'm very grateful and appreciate it.
Thank you. You are free to say your goodbyes.
Peace out.
I love it. I love it. That was a perfect goodbye. See you soon. Oh my gosh, that was absolutely amazing. I'm sure you'll agree. What an amazing guest to have on, especially being so open, being so honest, being so vulnerable as well. All good. What an amazing episode. Thank you again, Jackie Roby, for your participation on this show. And guys at home listening to this, watching this show, for your participation. It doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we go. Next week. Next week I cannot wait for, because next week is Spillet's first birthday. Oh my gosh. So Spillet turns 1 year old next week, and have I got a guest for you. It's mainly for me, to be honest. So growing up, my favorite film was Flight of the Navigator, a story about a young boy who finds a UFO ship and goes flying through time and space and meets these like little alien friends and all that. It was my favorite film growing up. I cannot put it into words. It was my favorite. Well, Mr. Joey Kramer, star of Flight of the Navigator, will be on the Spill It show next week. That's Wednesday, the 21st of June at 7 p.m. UK time. He will be on the show talking about absolutely everything to do with Flight of the Navigator, what it was like. Oh, I can't wait. Honestly, I'm going to fangirl so much. It's unbelievable. Spill It, episode 51, Life After the Navigator, with extra special guest Joey Kramer joining us on Wednesday, the 21st of June at 7 p.m. I hope that you guys join us for that episode because it's going to be absolutely epic. My name is Marcus Wright. You can find me on all social medias at Marcus Wright or under Spillit_Marcus. You can find them all, obviously, if you head over to the Spillit website, www.spillit.uk. You can also find all the podcast episodes over on the website too. What you can also find on the website is ways to support me. You can support me by buying merch. We have got beanie hats, we've got jumpers, we've got t-shirts, we've got sweatshirts, we've got hoodies. And you can also support me by joining the official Spill It Patreon, where you can donate as little as £2 per month to be a Spill It teacup. And you get access to extra information. You get one-to-one time with my guests. You get to have a sneak peek of all of the stuff that's coming up. And you get to be involved with what you would like on the show as well. And all of that for just £2 per month. Other ways you can support me as well, you can invite people into the Spill It community. So if you're watching this via Facebook, you can share the Facebook page, you can share the Facebook episodes, whatever you want to. You can share the YouTube channel, you can invite people over to the Twitch channel, and if you're listening to this via podcast, then you can get other people to listen to and to subscribe. If you are listening to this via podcast or you are watching this via Facebook, then please head over and leave me a review. If you're watching this via Facebook, then all you have to do is go onto the Facebook page and leave me a review. And if you're listening to this via Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, then you can leave a review of this episode or of the whole entire podcast. Leave me 5 stars. I do a good job. I like to think I do a good job. Anyway, I think I'm 5-star worthy. If you think I'm 5-star worthy too, then leave me a review. If you didn't enjoy the episode or you don't enjoy what I do, then don't leave a review. That's fine. You don't have to. Thank you. Here we go. Linda, where's the hyperness gone? I don't know. It's because I was doing my ending spiel, Linda. You know what I'm like. Okay. Well, that is it from me. Thank you guys so much for participating on this episode. Thank you so much for your comments, your questions, your support, as always, every single week. I absolutely love it. Thank you. And until we spill it again, it's bye for now. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Spill It. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time to do so. Spill It goes live every week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And a special thank you to these amazing teacups.